Hello and welcome back to another episode of this week's watches, and we've made it, episode 50.1. Yes, we are, as the photographer Danny over there said, we are now Marvel. That is what we're competing with, but we have some epic watches for you. So we are doing a drop on Friday. If you're watching this, it is Friday. Usually we do Saturday, and you might be wondering what is going on. Well, we worked very hard this week and got in about 24, 25 watches, which is a lot of watches. And that's a lot of watches to do in one drop, just for a Saturday. This video would be about an hour and a half long, and I think a lot of people would kill me, including my computer, for trying to render that in 4K. I don't think it'd happen. So we've decided to split it. We have a relatively affordable, mostly modern drop here today, and tomorrow we have a awesome drop of a range including modern and also vintage, some very, very special pieces, including what's on wrist, and we'll touch on it real quickly. This is a 1958 Omega Seamaster Ranchero, and a very, very, very clean example. I don't think this will stick around long. I'm hoping it will be gone before Christmas, and I think it's going to make someone very, very happy. You'll have to excuse the vibration on my phone. Got a lot of calls coming in today, so I need to keep it on vibrate, but hopefully it won't go off too much. But yeah, we've got that and many others landing tomorrow, so make sure you check it out. Usual time on a Saturday, 9:30, and get on the website and get these watches whilst you can. If you are outside of the UK, delivery before Christmas is no longer available. We can't guarantee it. We can still ship to you, but we cannot guarantee it before Christmas. Maybe on a fluke, they'll get it there before Christmas, but as I say, we cannot guarantee it. So please don't order expecting it in time for Christmas if you're outside of the UK. That ship has now sailed. Now, if you are in the UK, you have until the 22nd of December to put in your order. If you put in your order in the evening on the 22nd, I cannot guarantee it for Christmas because it will be shipped on the 23rd. I don't think you're going to get it. I think you're going to get it after Christmas. So cut-off point, I'm going to say, is midday 22nd of December, because we're going to be in the office so I can get them packaged up and shipped out. But please, please, please try and get it before then. Don't leave it to the last minute and sort of chance fate. I will do my best to get any deliveries that are made on the 22nd out on the 22nd. But as I said, I cannot guarantee it. So please get your orders in soon, especially if you wanted it before Christmas. If you're wanting it after Christmas and you don't care, put in your order. It's all good. We'll get it sorted. But that is enough of that. I just really want to stress that because Christmas is a very sort of panicky time for most people, especially at this point where they're late buying. Believe me, I get it. That's what we're here for. We're going to try and sort you out, but please just give us a little bit of time at least. But anyway, as usual, we have the variety and it's split into two drops. That's what we're focusing on today. We're focusing on the sort of more affordable, more modern drop, and there are some great options that I can't wait to get into. In terms of when we are in the office next week, we're going to be in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Thursday is the final day, and then we won't be back in until, I believe it's Tuesday, the 4th of January. So that means that entire time we're not going to be in the office. Now the website's still going to be up, we're still going to be taking orders, I'm still going to be replying to emails just at a slower capacity because I am going to have a bit of a break. But I will still be responding to you guys and girls, so don't worry. But any purchases made between that time, the 24th and the 4th, or even the 23rd really, as I just stated, will not be shipped until we're back in January. So please do keep that in mind if you're expecting it to arrive at like the 28th of December. It's not going to happen. So please keep that in mind, and please keep in mind we won't be in the office to do any viewings. So save yourself the hassle of trying to book an appointment. Anyway, all the rambling is now done. Let's crack on with what you're here to see, which is the watches. So where to begin? I mean, what an awesome selection. I think we're gonna have to start with the Christopher Wards because we have a really gorgeous, and one I've actually wanted to get in to see in person, and it's the Christopher Ward #Tide. What a watch to start this episode with. This is the Christopher Ward C60 Tide, #Tide. Now this has some great reasoning behind why they made it. I think it's really admirable for what Christopher Ward have done. And regardless of how you feel about the watch, I think at the very least we have to applaud them for that and the efforts they're doing with this. So I'd highly recommend you go over to Christopher Ward's website to actually read more. We have a little bit about it on our website as well, but they explain it the best themselves, so I'm not going to try and explain it for them. But you can see you've got this really gorgeous sapphire dial, which is slightly translucent, so you can see the movement through it, and I think it just looks really, really good. You've got the hashtag on the back, Nice pop of blue, and you can see the strap as well. Nice quick release. It's just really great to see Christopher Ward doing really good things, and as a lot of you know, I'm a big fan of what they do. Christopher Ward will make its way into the personal collection for the long term eventually. I'm just trying to decide which one it is, because obviously they have a fair few, and I think that's part of my problem actually with deciding which one. You can see really cool crown there. Nice ring of blue, and the case of the C60 is awesome. It is a bigger case than the C65, thicker as well, but it wears really, really well, and we'll talk about dimensions in a moment. But a really nice bezel, nice hands, very legible. At the end of the day, this is just a good looking watch with a great reason behind it, and at the end of the day, you can save a little bit of money buying it pre-owned with us. It does come with its full box and papers from September 2021, and inside is a chronometer certified Sellita SW200. So you're getting a hell of a lot of watch spec wise for your money, and you're also getting a really good looking watch for your money as well. So let's take a closer look at this on wrist. And here we go on my 6 3/4, closing in on 7-inch wrist. If I keep eating the way I'm eating in the new year, we will be there, don't worry. But here we go, really good looking watch. 42mm by 49mm lug to lug, under that 50mm I always go on about, so well done. 14.5mm thick and 22mm lugs. Really good proportions. I say well done as they obviously listened to me with it, of course, you know. Of course they did, but anyway, either way, granted, that Christopher Ward are doing really good things, and it's good to see. So go save yourself some money at retail and pick it up at the website today. So from the Tide, let's go to a classic, which I think is going to continue to be a classic for the foreseeable future, and that is the Trident C65 GMT. Every time I get this watch in, I really think this could be the Christopher Ward I actually get and keep. I think this is so good, especially the white version, but the black is also amazing. This is the C65 Trident GMT. Now this is a slightly earlier model from August 2018, and it does have the ETA 2893-2 inside rather than the Sellitas like the modern ones. To be honest, in terms of what that actually means mechanically and all that, it really doesn't mean an awful lot. The Sellitas are fantastic. Some people still give them a bad rep. I don't really know why, but they're really, really good. Whereas what it means is just rarity-wise, there will probably be fewer of these with the ETA than there will be with the Sellita, so that's quite a nice thing with that. But as you can see, bright orange GMT hand. Obviously, in my opinion, quite heavily inspired by the Rolex Explorer 2, especially the earlier references, nicknamed the Steve McQueen with that big orange hand, even though Steve McQueen never wore one, but hey. This one does come on its original leather strap, and this is a really nice quality shell cordovan strap with a deploying buckle, which is signed Christopher Ward on the inside, but not on the outside, which is actually quite nice. I think brands often really want to put the branding everywhere, whereas this is nice and discreet. Bracelets and everything can be had on their website, and if I'm not mistaken, this strap is actually no longer available on their website. I could be wrong with that, so don't quote me, but check it out. Either way, it is one good strap, and you can see this one's still stickered, even though it's from August 2018. It has hardly been worn, and as I say, it does come with its full box and papers. There's not really an awful lot to say about this. It's a really good watch, very well designed, very well proportioned, and just built incredibly well. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on wrist. This is another reason why I think this one could be the Christopher Ward I actually had, and that is the dimensions are so good. 41mm by 46.5mm lug to lug. Sits nice and comfortably on the wrist. Only 12mm thick, which for a GMT is incredibly thin really, especially with this sloped case. They actually wear thinner than what the dimensions will lead you to believe. 22mm lugs, as I say, bracelet options are available on the website, and you can add them to this, including many other strap options, but 22mm, you've got endless options anyway. And to be honest, this does look really good on the watch. So go check this one out on the website, and you're not actually going to pay any more for the fact you're getting an ETA, which is kind of cool. Next up, we have a really awesome limited edition that I actually hadn't seen before it landed on my desk, and it is so cool. But this is the C65 316L limited edition. Now we have a really surprising watch, and I think this one, as I say, I had actually never seen it before, getting it on my desk, and this is the 316L limited edition, limited to 316, as the name suggests, and it has this really interesting matte yellow dial. And the reason it's interesting is because it looks pastel yellow, but in person it's not as crazy pastel yellow, you know, glimmering and all that kind of stuff. It's quite matte and it has a really nice texture. And I think it's a bit more subdued than what you'd expect based on photos. Either that will be something you like or dislike about it. For me, I like it because I think that really shiny yellow is a bit too much, whereas this is very wearable. Right now it's paired on a Christopher Ward black rubber Tropic style strap. Again, strap options are available on their website, but a really good looking watch. And where this one gets even more interesting, in my opinion, is inside is a manually wound Sellita SW210. So it's manually wound rather than automatic, which is just quite nice, really. No screw down crown, as most of these don't. And it is from January 2021, and it does come with its full box and paperwork, as you'd expect, but really good condition, hardly worn. As you can see, most of these are exactly like that, so you're getting as close to new as you're going to really get. It's just one good looking watch, but let's put it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on wrist, almost identical to the GMT we just looked at, but this is 41mm by 47mm lug to lug, only 11.5mm thick and 22mm lug, so endless options. And it just looks really, really good. I mean, the bracelet I think would really complement this, so I'd highly recommend checking out their bracelets. But yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with this at all if you're wanting sort of something classic Christopher Ward with a twist. And the final Christopher Ward on the table, one I've rated highly in the past, and I still think that today, that is the C65 Sandhurst. So the Sandhurst. Christopher Ward I really, really like, mainly because of its connection with the British military and the design aspect. I just think it's really good in the dimensions. It's overall like the perfect everyday watch that really goes under the radar. But could be something much more than what it is, if that makes sense. I think it's really nice. This one is from January 2021. It comes with paperwork only, unfortunately, but I do have a spare older generation, the bigger Christopher Ward boxes. So if you ask nicely, I'll probably throw that in for you. So yeah, you will have box and paperwork, just not the original box, unfortunately. It went walkies, who knows where it is, might pop up one day. But January 2021, and inside is a chronometer certified Sellita SW200. You can see on the back there, nice motive, just a really good watch. It does come with its bracelet, all links included, and it has a very nice adjustable sort of glide lock in the clasp, so you can get that perfect fit, which I think is really good. Well done, Christopher Ward, for adding that. I think bracelet-wise, this is probably one of the best bracelets on the market. And that sounds ridiculous to say that when there's such good options, but I really do think these are that good and that comfortable and that well made. So that says a lot. But let's show it on wrist, talk dimensions. And here we go. That just works so well on the wrist. So comfortable. 38mm by 43.5mm, 11.5mm thick, and 20mm lug. So a little bit smaller on the lug length. Nice brown strap would really complement this. NATO's. This is one of those watches where I think everything would suit it. So if you're looking for a watch like that, this is the one you should go for. From there, that switch gears to the only watch in this drop that's over £1,000, and that is the TAG Heuer Aqua Racer Chrono. So a TAG Heuer Aqua Racer automatic chronograph. And this is the reference CAF2001. Inside is the automatic TAG Heuer caliber 16, which is basically an ETA 7750. Day date you can see right there, circa 2006. It doesn't come with any box or paperwork, unfortunately, but that is why it is such a good price, especially when you consider all the specs you're getting. And it is a very well built watch. This comes with a full bracelet, which will fit people's leg. It's massive, so you've got all options there. But it's a good looking watch. You've got that sort of youthful robustness with it. You know, it's quite aggressive, masculine design, whilst also being very practical. You know, you've got a day-date chronograph. It is a sort of rated diver. I would have it pressure tested before you go anywhere near water personally. But yeah, it's a good looking watch, and I don't think there's an awful lot to say about it. You either love these or you dislike them. That's sort of the camp you're in. And as far as TAG Heuer go, a lot of people gravitate towards the F1 line. I would always recommend at least stepping up to the Aqua Racer line personally, if not the Carrera if you can. But the Carreras can't be found usually for as good a price as this in the Chrono range, so I do think it's a good value. But let's show on wrist, talk dimensions. And here we go on my wrist. I mean, you can see I'd have to take about 4 links out, if not more. It's massive. But here we go. It is definitely not a small watch. It's not unforgiving, but it does wear still relatively well. 43mm, which sounds big, but 50.5mm lug to lug. So it's only a smidge over the lug to lug I always go on about. 15mm thick, so it is a little bit on the thick side, but again, it still wears it well. And 21mm lugs, which is a little bit awkward, but not impossible, so there are options out there. But a good looking watch, especially for the money. So go check it out. From there, the switch gears to Seiko. We're going to have a look at the 62 mass re-edition, which is basically what it is, the SPB 143J1. If I remember that exactly right, I'm going to give myself a round of applause, definitely. Let's take a look. Next up is a watch we have had in countless times, and even at its retail price of over £1,000, I think there is a ton of value still in this watch, and I really do think it gives its Swiss counterparts a real run for their money, especially in this sort of Oris Aquis range, or even the Tag Heuer range as we were just talking. I think this, quality-wise and spec-wise, is amazing. So when it gets to pre-owned like this, and it's quite a lot under £1,000, then we're talking incredible value, and something you should definitely consider if you're looking for a dive watch. But this is the Seiko Prospex 62 MAS re-edition, basically SPB 143J1. Inside is an automatic Seiko caliber 6R35, very good and reliable movement. Comes on its bracelet, which is very well built, all milled metal, no stamped metal, apart from that fold over, I guess, but that's still, you know, a bit more substantial than what you'd expect out of Seiko. I think this is probably one of the better bracelets that Seiko produce in their modern lineup. But yeah, just a really, really good looking watch, and very, very affordable in the pre-owned range for how much you're getting. This one is from September 2020. It does come with its box and papers. Slate grey dial, which is gorgeous with that matte, darker grey bezel. I'm glad they didn't use the exact same grey. I think it really goes. I mean, you could almost call it a black in certain lights, but it's definitely a darker grey. But they show on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on wrist. Super, super comfortable, and definitely brought up to modern standards while still being very wearable at 40.5mm by 47mm lug to lug. Seiko know what they're doing when it comes to how a watch wears. 14mm thick and 20mm lugs with drilled lug holes. Thank you, Seiko. This is a lifesaver, especially for people who don't want to have to faff, well, including myself. I don't want to have to constantly be using strap changing tools, whereas that, just nice and easy. So go check this one out on the website if it's not already gone, which I suspect it probably will be. Next up, a Seiko, and we've had a lot of Seikos here, most of them I would say, but I had actually never seen this watch and I was quite surprised, and it's the SKX 171. Let's take a closer look. Next up, a watch with the infamous 7S26 movement, a movement I am very glad Seiko no longer use, for the most part anyway, but it's still a really good looking watch, really well made, and I think there's a lot of value to be had in these, especially as collectors really are starting to consider these as like a proper collectible piece. You know, the SKX line has just gone insane. I remember years ago, those were the sort of watches I was buying very, very cheap and selling for a very small margin. And now, you know, those prices are already double, triple, in some cases quadruple what they were then, which is quite crazy to think. But this is the SKX 171. As I said, inside is an automatic Seiko 7S26, and it's from circa 2006. It does come with paperwork. The paperwork isn't dated, but it is all signed and matched up. And you can see it's still got a sticker on the back. This is basically as close to new old stock as you're going to get. It does come with a Seiko strap, as you can see, and swing tag as well, all here. So really great to see like this. I mean, it doesn't have a box, but I mean, you could probably pick up a Seiko box on eBay for like 15 quid or something, and then you've got a full set. Nice and easy. But definitely something a little bit different in the SKX line, something you don't see every day, or if you're like me, had never seen. So yeah, the show on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go. Now, my personal taste, I would change out the strap immediately, but if you like that sort of thing, it's got it. So, 42mm by 46mm lug to lug, so wears nice and short on the wrist. 13mm thick and 22mm lugs. A really interesting watch and something you don't see every day, so go check it out on the website. Let's go from there to a very awesome Squale, and I don't think people quite realise how incredible Squale's history is, so let's take a closer look at this Nomon limited edition. Now, as I said in the intro to this watch, I don't think people really appreciate the history of Squale and how sort of deep it goes. So for example, they used to make cases for Blancpain, which in itself, and that's a terrible pronunciation probably, everyone's going to butcher me for that, but it's a difficult name to pronounce. But they used to make the cases for them. They've done all kinds of crazy stuff, so I would highly recommend checking out their history and definitely diving deep into it. Did you like the pun there? See, diving deep? Anyway, this is the 50 Atmos Scuba, in reference to some of their older models as well, limited edition with Nomon. And it's just one good looking watch. I really like what they've done with the bezel, with this completely simplistic design. Reminds me a lot of the Unimatics, but you have this faux patina, bright orange hand, all very practical when it comes to traditional diving. Now this watch is basically like new condition other than this one lug which has definitely got some wear, which is a bit of a shame, but other than that it's like new. It does come with its original strap, and it is from September 2021 with full box and paperwork, so you're still getting all your manufacturer warranty. Inside here they don't state exactly which one it is, but it does say it's either an ETA 2824-2 or a Sellita SW200-1. I suspect, based on these brands getting ETAs at the moment, I really do think it's probably a Sellita. I think that's a safer bet. But as I say, full box paperwork, good looking watch, limited edition, sold out pretty quick. So you can't really get them other than on the pre-owned market now. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on wrist. A really good looking watch and wears really nicely. So 42mm by 48.5mm. I love how this case wears. 13mm thick and 20mm lugs. Really universal in its size, and I think will suit a lot of wrists. So go check this one out. From the Squale, let's go to a watch that I am very much trying to tell myself I don't need in my collection right now, and that is this Brew. So let's have a look. So when this watch was released by Brew over in the US, I really wanted to add one to the collection, and I went to do it and they had sold out, and I thought maybe that's a sign that I shouldn't. And then lo and behold, one ends up on my desk and I'm like, maybe I should get it, and I decide I shouldn't keep doing this with every single watch that I really like, otherwise I'm never going to actually have any watches for sale. So this one reluctantly is coming to the market, though maybe I'm still not 100% decided, so you can go check it out. But here we go. You can see it on the bracelet, stickers still on the clasp, and this is the metric retro dial. Inside is a hybrid VK68 Mecha Quartz, which is a Seiko. This one's from November 2021. It is still sold out on their website, and this one is slightly more than the retail asking price, but you'll save on taxes here in the UK, and also you won't have to wait until February when the restock is and hope to try and get one. So it might be worth picking up, but let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on wrist. Another reason why I absolutely love this watch. It wears so well and just looks brilliant. So 36mm by 41.5mm. Because of the cushion case, it wears bigger than that dimension will sort of let you believe. Don't think this wears like a circular 36, because it doesn't. 11mm thick and 20mm lug, so again, endless options there. Drilled lug holes, making strap changes nice and easy. But to be honest, the bracelet is where it's at with this watch. So go pick it up today before I change my mind. From the Brew, let's take a look at the Bolivar Lunar Pilot, and this is an all polished edition that I've never seen, so let's have a look. I'm interested to know down in the comments, had you ever seen the Lunar Pilot all polished? Because I hadn't. I'd seen the matte sort of bead blasted or whatever it is, and the all black, but I'd never seen an all polished one until this one. I can't really find a lot out about it, like why is it polished? Some places are saying it's some sort of special edition, but it's not stated really as a special edition, because I believe on the bracelet it's a limited edition anyway. I mean, who knows the numbers, because I think it's been a limited edition for about 6 years. So buy this watch just because you like it, not because you're expecting some kind of like magical gains in the future, because it is a really great watch, but again, not like that. So circa 2020, it does come with its box. No paperwork, unfortunately, because oftentimes these didn't come with it. It does come on its original NATO strap, and it's pretty much unworn. I mean, anything you see now is just my fingerprints, because it is all polished. Really good looking watch. The Lunar Pilot, true history in connection to the moon landing and going into space. Definitely research that, because it's an interesting thing. With actually some court battles as well, which is quite fun to read about. So go check that out, read the history. But let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions, because it is a big watch. And here we go on wrist. It is a big watch, but you know what? It's still wearable, but definitely a bit too big for me personally, just with how I like my watches. But it's 45mm by 52.5mm lug to lug. I'd definitely say you need a sort of 6 3/4 plus wrist, ideally, to support this. Unless you like that bigger look, then obviously do whatever you want. 13.5mm thick and 20mm lugs. So quite a big watch with quite small lugs. It's very interesting, you know, how much the case tapers in, which helps with the wearability. But yeah, so definitely keep that in mind. Go check it out. And from there, let's go to the Citizen Starbucks. Yes, that is what we're gonna call it. Who needs a Rolex Submariner Starbucks when you can have a Citizen ProMaster Starbucks? I mean, it even sounds better. ProMaster, come on. But all jokes aside, this is a quality watch under £200, automatic from Citizen, with quite an interesting bracelet with this little glide lock feature. Look how cool that is. You know, all pressed metal, but they've taken the time to actually invent something which is actually practical in their bracelet. So well done, Citizen. This one's basically brand new, full box and paperwork from June 2021. Inside is a Miyota 8203, so the 8000 series, day date over there, Pro Master series. Nice and waterproof, down to 200 meters, crown on the opposite side. You know what, it's just a fun watch, and I think under £200 there is absolutely no way you can complain or really find anything that can sort of compare. Seiko obviously offers some great options, but are they ISO rated like this is anymore? Not really, unless we're talking the older SKXs. And again, you're getting that really interesting dark green bezel, black dial, all on a bracelet. So let's show it on wrist, talk dimensions. And here we go on wrist. So 41.5mm by 47.5mm lug to lug, wears really well, 12.5mm thick, and 20mm lugs, endless options. And you know what, it's quite comfortable with the crown on that side. You haven't got to worry about, you know, your wrist bending into it. Not that I really have that problem anyway, unless it's a massive watch, but you know, for you true divers out there, I guess that's a feature. So go check this one out on the website and get a great watch under 200 quid right before Christmas. And last but certainly not least, a titanium Scurfer, and wow, it is built incredibly well. Let's take a closer look. So my first Scurfer we've had in the shop, and you know what, it is really well built. I'm very impressed by the specs of this one, and this is the D1 orange in titanium with the quartz movement. You can see that very domed crystal. Look at that helium escape valve, really nice rubber strap, titanium. You know what, like spec wise, I think you'll be hard pressed to sort of find an awful lot better. Very nice rubber strap actually. I think these are great and really comfortable. Inside is a quartz Ronda 715 SM, and the watch is from October 2021, full box and papers. So save yourself some money, pick this one up, and be very impressed as I am. I keep seeing them on Instagram, so now I get it. I get it. This is how it goes. We get them in stock, and I go, oh, okay, I see why everyone likes them. But let's put it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go, 40mm by 48mm lug to lug, only 13.5mm thick, and 20mm lugs. Very convenient. Push drilled lug holes, so nice and easy to change straps. And because of the titanium, it is super light. You'd forget you're wearing that. And that orange really does pop. I think orange and pastel blues and yellows and everything is all the rave at the moment. So they've done a good job of this one. So go check it out. So there you have it, guys and girls. That is this week's drop. As always, nice and varied. This is part one. Don't forget, if you're watching this on Friday, tune in tomorrow because there's even more watches hitting the website. Again, even more variety. And I think almost all of them more expensive than these. So we wanted to get the affordable out first to give you guys a chance, and then the next day put the bigger pieces up. So make sure you check in for that. But in general, that is it. This is going to be our last drop of the year after tomorrow. So it's been incredible. I want to thank you all for your support. I will try and do a little update video to go out maybe after Christmas and just before the new year. Then that'll be really nice just to give everyone an update on how we've done. And just wish you all, a great Christmas and a happy new year. So if I don't get to that, or you don't get a chance to see that, and you're watching this, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, hope you have a good one, and we'll see you all in 2022, where things are going to get exciting here at Kibble Watches, so stay tuned.